Formula One racing is set to be the biggest sporting event ever to roar into Central Texas. But how much do we really know about it? We ask a couple of F1 experts and a few football fans to help us learn just some of the basics. In Texas, we know football, first downs and fumbles. But just ask these football fans what they know about Formula One. How long does an F1 race last?
3.5 hours.
That's a lot of driving. Actually, the race at the Circuit of the Americas track will be quite a bit shorter than that.
The race at Circuit of Americas in time, probably no more than about an hour.
And the cars will reach speeds upwards of 200 miles per hour. An F1 engine is about the size of one in a Honda Accord. That's less than half the size of a NASCAR engine, but the F1 engine has much more power.
They can get somewhere from 700 to 800 horsepower.
And when these powerful cars come in for a pit stop, you better not blink. How long does an F1 pit stop last?
How about 60 seconds?
35 seconds.
Most pit stops, you come in like you watch a NASCAR pit stop or IndyCar pit stop, and they're running, 10, 12, 14 seconds, like to do tire changes. These things come in, they do a manual pop-up of the car, and in 4 seconds, they're gone with 4 new tires.
I thought you were talking...
Our football fans know all the fast cars and festivities cost a lot of money, but just how much? How much money do you think an F1 team spends on a race?
On a single race? $2 million.
Formula One, the top teams are spending between $400 and $500 million per year.
If you do the math, that's at least $20 million per race. Now, hundreds of people make up each Formula One team, but there are 2 drivers per team. Each driver earns points based on how he places in each of the 20 races in the season. So when it comes down to the end, the driver with the most points is the champion. Now, the F1 website explains the sport in much greater detail than that, and you can find links to that site with this story at KXAN.com.